Start a nail channel for under $500 budget-friendly products. Storytime: The Silent Witness. All right, settle in, because this story is going to take you on a ride you won't see coming. It's a case that haunted a small North Carolina town for over 2 decades, until a single discovery changed everything. At the end, I'll come up with a list of all the products, equipment that you're gonna need, but for now, just watch. Lisa Holloway had been buried beneath the floorboards of James Monroe's garage for 25 years, her disappearance an unsolved mystery that haunted her small town, until his own daughter, Riley, unknowingly unraveled the truth. It started with a forgotten surveillance tape revealing Lisa willingly getting into a car the night she vanished, a car driven by a man wearing a distinctive leather jacket. That same jacket, tucked away in a box of Riley's late father's belongings, led her down a dark path of discoveries: old diner receipts, unsettling phone records, and finally Lisa's missing necklace, hidden in his toolbox. The case had gone cold for decades, but when Riley dug deeper, the truth clawed its way to the surface. Her father hadn't just known Lisa. He had been the reason she never came home. What began as a simple podcast investigation ended with police excavating her childhood home, uncovering the horrifying secret her father had taken to his grave. And as Riley stood there, staring at the remnants of a life stolen too soon, she realized the most chilling part of all. If she hadn't gone looking, she might have never known the monster who had raised her. Viewer discretion advised. The following content discusses true crime cases, unsolved mysteries, and narrated stories, which may include graphic details about violence, murder, and other sensitive topics. While diving into these compelling tales, watch me work on creative nail tutorials. This material is intended for mature audiences only. Please watch responsibly. Let's start from the beginning. The vanishing of Lisa Holloway. It was the fall of 1998, and 24-year-old Lisa Holloway had her whole life ahead of her. She had just landed a promotion at the diner where she worked, secured a new apartment, and was planning a weekend getaway with her best friend. But on the night of September 17th, everything changed. Lisa clocked out of work at 10:15 p.m., walked to her car in the dimly lit parking lot, and called her mom to say she'd be home soon. That was the last time anyone heard her voice. The next morning, her car was found abandoned on the side of a quiet road about 3 miles from the diner. The doors were locked. The keys were still in the ignition, and Lisa's purse sat untouched on the passenger seat. There were no signs of struggle, no broken glass, no blood, nothing. It was like she had simply stepped out of her car and vanished into thin air. The town went into a frenzy. Search parties scoured the woods, divers combed through a nearby lake, and police questioned anyone who might have seen her that night. But no leads emerged. The case eventually went cold, leaving Lisa's family with nothing but unanswered questions. For 25 years, the mystery of Lisa Holloway remained just that, a mystery. The true crime podcaster who wouldn't let it go enter Riley Monroe. A journalist turned true crime podcaster, Riley had made a name for herself by re-examining old, forgotten cases and uncovering the truth where others had failed. When she stumbled across Lisa's disappearance, something about it stuck with her. Maybe it was the eerie way Lisa's car was left behind, or how no one had ever come forward with new information. Whatever it was, Riley knew she had to dig deeper. She started with the basics, reviewing old police reports, tracking down Lisa's former co-workers, even speaking to her now aging parents. But no one had anything new to add. Then, Riley thought of something no one else had done. She started looking for surveillance footage. Most businesses from that time had long since replaced their cameras or erased their tapes, but Riley got lucky. A retired security guard from a bank near the diner remembered something strange. There was an old camera mounted at the far end of the parking lot, he told her. It wasn't great quality, but it might have caught something. After some persuasion, Riley managed to get her hands on the footage. It was grainy, black and white, but clear enough to make out what happened. Lisa's car pulled to the side of the road. She sat there for a few moments as if contemplating something. Then a second car approached. Lisa got out and spoke to the driver. She didn't seem afraid. In fact, she looked surprised. And then, this is where it gets chilling, she willingly got into the car. The vehicle drove off, leaving her car behind, never to be seen again. A jacket, a secret, and a gut-wrenching discovery. At first, the footage didn't reveal much. The driver's face wasn't visible, and the car had no license plate in view. But then, Riley noticed something small yet significant. The driver was wearing a leather jacket with a distinctive patch on the sleeve. Something about it felt familiar. Riley couldn't shake the feeling that she had seen that jacket before. She paused the video, zoomed in, enhanced the image, and then her blood ran cold. Because that exact same jacket, with that exact same patch, was in a box of her late father's belongings. Her father, James Monroe, had passed away years ago in a car accident. He was a quiet, hardworking mechanic who had never been in trouble with the law. As far as Riley knew, he had no connection to Lisa Holloway, but suddenly she wasn't so sure. Shaking, she dug through his old things, pay stubs, receipts, personal notes, until she found something that made her stomach drop. An old diner receipt from the place Lisa worked. Her father had eaten there on the night Lisa disappeared. She kept digging. Phone records showed he had called the diner multiple times that summer. An old waitress who still worked there remembered him. "Yeah, he used to come in a lot," the woman said. "He always talked to Lisa. She was nice to him, but I think he made her a little uncomfortable. She mentioned once that he would wait around until her shift ended." Riley's heart was pounding. If her father had been the last person to see Lisa, what else had he been hiding? The final, terrifying truth. Determined to find answers, Riley went back to her childhood home, now abandoned. In her father's old garage, she found a hidden compartment in his toolbox. Inside, wrapped in a faded cloth, were two things. Lisa's missing necklace, a delicate silver chain with her name engraved on it. A photograph of her father, standing next to Lisa. The police reopened the case. Cadaver dogs were brought to the old property, and then they found her. Buried beneath the floorboards of the garage were human remains. DNA confirmed it. Lisa had been there all along. Her father, James Monroe, had known Lisa. He had likely been obsessed with her. And when she rejected him or tried to leave that night, he made sure she never left. For 25 years, the town had whispered theories, had imagined kidnappings or human trafficking. But the truth? Lisa's killer had been right under their noses the whole time. And the only reason the world ever found out was because his own daughter refused to let the past stay buried. Some mysteries should stay unsolved. But this wasn't one. Riley's podcast exploded overnight. The case was featured on national news. But instead of feeling like she had won some victory, Riley was left with an unsettling thought. Had she ever really known her father at all? Sometimes, the truth is worse than the mystery, and sometimes, the people we love hide the darkest secrets. A family's nightmare. The revelation shattered Riley's world. The man who had raised her, the father she had adored, was now a monster in her eyes. She replayed childhood memories in her head, searching for any signs she had missed, any hint of the darkness lurking beneath his quiet demeanor. Had he always been capable of this? Had there been other victims? The thought made her stomach turn. What haunted her most was the realization that if she hadn't pursued Lisa's case, her father's secret might have stayed buried forever. The town's reckoning. When the news broke, the town was in shock. People who had once shared beers with James Monroe at the local bar now whispered about the devil hiding in plain sight. Lisa's parents, now elderly and frail, wept when they learned the truth. They had spent years clinging to hope, believing their daughter might still be alive somewhere. Now they had answers, but closure came with an unbearable weight. The police vowed to search for any other victims, and Riley, despite her own grief, made it her mission to ensure Lisa's story and her father's crimes were never forgotten. A chilling legacy. Riley ended the final episode of her podcast with a warning. Monsters aren't always strangers in the dark. Sometimes they sit across from you at the dinner table. The case had changed her, left her haunted by a name that had once brought her comfort. She had uncovered the truth, but at what cost? As she packed up her father's old belongings, ready to leave her childhood home, Behind for good, she hesitated. There, on the shelf, was another box, one she hadn't opened yet. Her breath caught in her throat. Was she ready for what she might find? Because if her father had kept one secret for 25 years, who's to say there weren't more? Starting a nail content creation journey doesn't have to be expensive. Here's a list of must-have items to kick off your nail channel for under $500. 1. Camera and lighting. Your phone's camera, if high quality, or a budget camera, like the Logitech C920 for $60-80, ring light, $20-50 for even, bright lighting. Phone camera stand, $15-30 to film hands-free. 2. Nail supplies. Gel and regular nail polish. Basic color set, $30-50. Top and base coats, $15-30. UV LED lamp, $30-50 for gel nails. Nail art brushes and dotting tools, $10-20. Acrylic powder and liquid, if doing acrylic nails, $30-50. Press-on nail kit, $15-40 for easy tutorials. Nail files, buffers, and clippers, $10-20. Cuticle pusher and oil, $10-15. 3. Editing and branding. Free editing apps, CapCut, iMovie, or InShot. Thumbnail maker, Canva, free or pro for $12 month. Background and props, cute mats or backdrops, $15-30. 4. Engagement and growth tools. Tripod with overhead arm, $30-50 for top-down shots. Social media accounts, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Hashtag and trend research. Follow nail trends on Instagram and Pinterest. With smart shopping, you can get everything under $500 and start creating stunning nail content right away. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And if you're already subscribed, thank you for being part of this amazing journey. Let me know how you feel about the story in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I can't wait to see you in the next one.